Busted and broken. That's how some neighbors in Kanawha County found windows to their cars and even their homes today, who they think is responsible for this string of vandalism. Plus, an important piece of paper not coming to several mailboxes in Putnam County because of an address change. Tonight, who should keep an eye out for tax forms and where they might have been sent instead? Good evening, I'm Michael Clouse in Charleston. Thanks for joining us. First tonight, we begin with a neighborhood crime alert out of Kanawha County. That's where several car windows were apparently shot out with BB guns between the 4400 block and the 4900 block of Kanawha Avenue. WSAZ Charleston's Nathan Tackett talked with people dealing with the mess. Nathan, they've been cleaning up almost all day. Thanks, Nathan. Charleston police have declined to comment because a report has not yet been filed. If one is and they have a word, we'll let you know. A mom in jail tonight accused of hiding her daughter from deputies after she was reported missing. We told you that Autumn Gerald, the girl there on your screen, who's just 14 years old, was reported missing this past weekend after she ran away. The deputies searched for 4 days to find the teen, and they eventually did, but they say she wasn't really missing at all. Instead, she was being hidden. WSAZ Charleston's Taylor Eaton joins us now. Taylor, deputies pretty upset over wasted resources in this case. They were quite afraid that something serious had happened to the girl. Thank you, Taylor. We are also currently working to reach out to the child's father to get his take on this story. We'll have that tonight if we're able to get it. We are learning more tonight about a man shot and killed in a home in Charleston this weekend, a case that police have ruled self-defense. Police say there is more than one reason to believe that this man, Neil Falls, could be connected to an unsolved murder in the western part of the U.S. Falls was shot and killed Saturday when he tried to attack a woman that he had met online. Now, when police searched his car, they found several suspicious items there, like you can see on your screen. Those range from axes, a sledgehammer, knives, a gun, trash bags, and bleach. Investigators say they have been in contact with a law enforcement agency that reached out to them from the West, who has an unsolved cold case homicide. They are looking into whether the two could be connected. We're learning more tonight about a possible homicide in Fayette County as well. Deputies say Joshua Dillon was found dead in his living room on Town Creek Road in Pax last night with what looks to be a gunshot wound. They also found a fresh meth lab inside the home. Investigators say the last time that Dillon was seen alive was Monday night, and he may have died shortly afterwards. And official cause of the death has not yet been determined. An update tonight on an investigation into an alleged animal hoarding situation in Charleston. We first told you yesterday when more than 24 animals were taken from this home on Beach Avenue. Now, sadly, the majority of those animals were dead, but a cat and a dog did survive. That cat, although in pretty bad shape, is finally getting the medical attention it needs and is doing much better tonight. No charges, though, have been filed against the owner of those animals. We will keep you posted if any are. Folks in Putnam County will want to keep an eye out on your tax forms in the mail. A project has been underway for almost 2 years now to change some addresses across the county. The goal of that change was to help emergency crews speed up their response times. But now those new addresses are causing some mix-ups when it comes to folks getting their tax statements. WSAZ Charleston's Matt Heckel joins us now from Liberty, just one of the areas where people need to be keeping their eyes peeled. Matt.
And that's because several of those...
Thanks, Matt. Tax officials are working to get those undelivered statements sent out to the right addresses in the next couple days. Again, if you don't receive your statement by July 31st, here in about a week, you should call the Putnam County Sheriff's Tax Office. A break in the weather finally giving crews a chance to remove more of that hillside at Yeager Airport. An airport spokesperson says crews were able to clear the partial obstruction that fell into Elk 2 Mile Creek, as well as some of the material that fell onto the Barlow Drive side of Keystone Drive. They will also be installing concrete barriers at the foot of the hill to keep any further material from reaching the creek. Now, crews were able to remove another large portion of the top of that hillside yesterday. They will continue that work overnight. However, they are repainting markers as well as the runway and moving lights, which will allow them to start working during the day as well. A traffic stop leads to a drug bust in Ravenswood, West Virginia. Police say that man you see on your screen there, DeMarco Leonard, who is from Detroit, was following a car in front of him just a little too closely on Route 68, so they pulled him over. Well, when they did, they could smell marijuana coming from the car, so they searched it and found nearly 200 pills. Leonard is charged with possession with intent to deliver. Tonight, he is in the South Central Regional Jail on a $150,000 bond. New details tonight about a fire in the historic district of Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. It has destroyed at least 2 prominent buildings dating all the way back to the 1840s. Now, one of those buildings housed 7 to 8 businesses. Several fire departments were called in to battle the massive flames that started roughly around 3:15 this morning. Now the good news, no one was hurt, but the fire in this small town has left behind quite a bit of devastation.
When it actually happens in a small town like this, it's your neighbor. You know everybody that's affected. You're like, oh, the poor people down the street. You know who the poor people are. You know everybody.
People love this town, and it's heartbreaking to think how it's going to change Harper's Ferry.
Now at this point there is no word on how the fire started, but the community devastated obviously because of the historical significance of the town. It was the site of a failed raid on a federal arsenal back in 1858 by abolitionist John Brown. In 1944, former President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed legislation that turned Harper's Ferry into a national monument. Downed trees and power lines caused quite a mess this morning along Campbell's Creek Drive. Crews say a tree fell over in the 400 block of the road early this morning, taking down with it several power lines across the road. Crews were on scene for hours trying to get the lines as well as the tree cleared from the road. Tonight, we're happy to pass along that everything is back open. Now to a traffic alert. We have more changes to pass along to you tonight about that ongoing bridge check project on Interstate 64 in Charleston. Starting tonight, roughly at about 8 o'clock, there will be a single right-hand lane closed on I-77 northbound from the Court Street on-ramp to the I-64 I-77 split. Now a single left-hand lane as well will close on Interstate 77 southbound a quarter of a mile before the I-77 I-64 split. Those changes will last until tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Then more changes coming tomorrow evening. A lot going on here. We understand that. We have a full list of all these lane shifts. Just head on over to WSAZ Mobile and WSAZ.com. Still ahead tonight at 6, thousands of people have pitched in to help those affected by the severe flooding in Johnson County, Kentucky. Well, now all the donations are being handed out to those who need them most. Coming up next, a look at who those will be distributed to and when.